So I want to make a video on YouTube about modems. Okay, why do you need modems? So this will connect you to the internet wirelessly using a data SIM. And data SIMs are very similar to the ones that you have on your phone. You can be connected to whatever your local internet service provider company is. So the question is, if I have a phone and I stream on my phone, do I need a modem? The real answer is no, you don't need a modem. The second question is, will I benefit from a modem if I stream on my phone? The answer is yes. Or the third question is, okay, if I have a modem, will I benefit from having more than one modem? And this is the answer to that is yes. The more modems you have, the more chances that your stream will not go down, the more chances you have to get more bit rate, the better quality stream you'll have. So basically, the more modems you have, the better. And the best way I can explain this is, imagine this Venn diagram, right? The blue one represents AT&T, the magenta one represents T-Mobile. Let's imagine that T-Mobile works in one area better than T-Mobile, okay? So you have one of these modems, it works well in that area. Let's say you walk into a different part of that same area and your reception gets bad. But your friend's phone reception is working well and they're using T-Mobile, okay? So let's imagine you're streaming and you're going in between these areas, right? If you only have one data SIM, that means your connection to your stream is only good within that area. And you go into that other area, then your stream might drop. But if you had both, your system can go in between these two, and there even might be an area in the middle where the connection is really good for both of them and you get both receptions. You can bond the two signals in order to have good stream no matter where you go. And the thing that I use for bonding is the Live View Solo, which does bond multiple. Let's imagine you had a third one. Imagine this is a weird Venn diagram. Imagine you also had Sprint here, right? Now you have 3 modems. There's an area in the middle right here, right? There's an area in the middle right here to which all 3 modems you're getting the reception for. Your bitrate is gonna skyrocket in this area. But you walk into an area where the connection is not very good. For either of these, you have one modem, one carrier, and for another area, you have another carrier. For area, you have another carrier. That's how this works. You know what I mean? Let's imagine you're in the case that you don't have bonding. Let's say you don't have bonding and you don't have this live view. Let's say you're streaming on the phone and your phone only supports one data signal, right? One data carrier. That's the case for most phones. If you go into an area where it sucks, right? All phones now support Wi-Fi. Let's say this is AT&T and this is T-Mobile. I have both. I'm only connected to one, right? So I'm using my data and I'm streaming, right? I'm talking to my chat. And my stream goes down. And I'm like, oh, this area is not very good. Let me pop this one on, turn on the Wi-Fi, have that connected to that. And now this one's data is much better and you can switch in between the two. Manual switching. Or if you want to be even more fancy, you just get like 2 phones, one of different connections, and you just change your stream in between the 2 phones. Of course, in reality, that is quite difficult to do in practice because it requires you to end and start your stream. But that's where the server comes into play, and maybe I'll make a different video about the server. Let me mention one more thing about modems, okay? So all modems are created differently and some are more specialized depending on the type of data carrier you use. And this has to go with a thing called bands. And data bands are very particular because they're they're different for every modem, they're different for every carrier, and they're different for every country. I know that sounds pretty confusing, but you can think of signal bands as a collection of frequencies that to which your modem operates in. So for example, they go from band 1 up to band 60 or something like that. Let's say, for example, this modem operates within the United States and it uses AT&T, for example. The bands that this would work on is probably like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12 and something like that, right? So that those are specific bands. Let's say this one is working for outside of the United States. Let's say this works in Japan on SoftBank or something like that. And the bands that they use is like 1, 7, 19, 24 or something like that, right? So now you have a case of these modems utilizing different bands, which is pretty important considering where you're going to go. If you're a travel streamer, this is very important topic to understand, because you need to be able to match up what service carrier that you're going to use, what modem you're going to use, and in order to get the best signal. What I'm basically trying to say is that you can't just buy one to cover all the bases. One might cover many bases, but it may not cover all. And this is why you need multiple ones. Now that I'm talking about modems, I'm realizing how much of a pain these are. So I'm hoping that this video on YouTube is going to help you with your fight against modems. Also, probably you're not going to be traveling anytime soon because of the, coronavirus. But if you liked what you've seen, give me a follow, subscribe, ask questions in the chat or whatever. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/jonsf. There you go. All right, that's the video. We did it. We did it, chat.